We will do a tour of this house. We are in the café, as you can see, no. The meeting point, we used to call it on the inside and outside Refugio. This is where everybody meets. All the offices here in the building meet their colleagues and other NGOs, etc. here. All the people, the residents meet their friends in here. And so it's quite busy. Okay. Before we start going upstairs, I would like to show you this place. This is the big hall we have. Here. There's just an event taking place. This is the, let's say, financial basis of our project. There is UNICEF, Amnesty, all these people are meeting here for workshops and congress and etc. So that's what we are renting out. And we have a few more rooms.
Ah, very bene.
Now, from these old photos, you can see this house was built in 1913 by the city mission, von der Stadtmission. And on the first one, on the left-hand side, you can see the big hall I just showed you as a gym. Young guys doing exercises in there. Later on, it's a church, as you can see there. And well, today we're using it for events. And well, mixing people from all over the world in this place as volunteers. And together with them, we organize the Sprachcafé, language cafe in German. Then there is one in English, one in Arabic. And they also have a free music school, open music school, and yoga and piano classes, etc. Many different things going on here in this building.
You have a very good website.
Che posto bello.
There it is. Excuse me, I just... there are 17 little ateliers where artists are working. Different ones, photographers, painters, all different kinds of people, of course, and unfortunately, at this time, most of them are still asleep, not working yet. And so I can only show you the first impression of this place. I think even...
Guarda! Wow!
Well, in Italy and Rome, it's quite common.
Wow! It's good smell.
Yeah, we have some beehives over there.
Ah, bee?
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
Little bees. We have Refugio honey once a year.
Refugio honey, wow.
Wow! But now they are in...
There is too cold for them there inside.
Winter in Berlin is
It's beautiful.
difficult.
So over there is more workshop room, but it's occupied right now. There's people in there,
It's good to
so we
to-
leave. And actually, this place started 8 years ago, 9 years almost. Yeah. With two people coming from South Africa, Germans having lived in South Africa for a couple of years. They came back with the idea of a share house, a place where everybody shares their talents, their ideas with one another. And the city mission was quite impressed by this idea. And so they started off in a flat somewhere in Kreuzberg, and then finally came into this place. And in the beginning it was called Share House Refugio. Now then they parted, and since then it's Refugio, but the idea still remains. That's what I said a couple of minutes ago, that we don't employ any social workers. Everything is done within the community, of course also with our help, the people working here. And so we help with papers and language and things like that. But I think we're pretty successful in integration. And this is also a good place for people to arrive to Berlin. We don't have any security in front of the house like you have in other projects. Nothing like that. And Neukölln, this part of Berlin where you are in right now, is, I think there's 150 nations living here. So it's very easy for our people as well to join and mix in. And that makes it easy for them.
How they apply to other room here, which is the way to.
There is a paper,
Okay.
with which you can apply, and of course a waiting list, especially right now where the situation with apartments and flats is pretty difficult in Berlin. Everybody who lives here might know. Then they apply. In the end, the floor itself decides who is their new neighbor. They're inviting 2 or 3 people, and then they decide who's going to stay with us. So it's not my decision.
But it's open for any migrants or only refugees? It's not about a status or the you.
No.
Okay.
Everybody.
So everybody for any
Yes.
nationality or the.
We have people without a proven nationality. We have people from 11 different countries.
Also for Europe.
Yes,
So, but I thought some artists are living here.
they're not living, they're working.
They're working, but not living here. Okay.
Of the people living here, yeah. How many people are newcomers, and how many people are old inhabitants? I don't know. German.
It's round about, I would say, 60-70% refugees and 30 to 40 old Berliners or people from Europe, let's say.
They pay a rent to.
Yeah, sure.
And how much time can somebody be
But
here?
on paper, the idea is 18 months,
18 months.
which is not
The reality, yeah.
feasible. Because if you start to study or any kind of education or anything, it usually takes around about 3 years.
To find-
And that's about the time people spend here.
3 years around.
3.
Okay, normally, yeah. But
The idea was 18 months, but that's too short. And right now it's difficult
it's so
anyway.
difficult
because
to
of
find
the
a place
situation.
in Berlin.
Yeah. So there are quite a few people staying longer. They already have jobs, and that's usually the time when we have to talk about it, because Refugio, I consider it to be a kind of a nest. And once you're able to fly on your own, you have to leave. But right now, this simply isn't possible because flats out there are either they're not there at all or they're very expensive.
So this place belongs to the church.
Yeah.
But for example, I am a refugee. Yeah, I am in Berlin since I don't know 10 days. Yeah, it was possible for me to come here. I don't know. You have I don't know in English a waiting list. Or not, or that how many times I am a newcomer in Berlin, I am a refugee, how many times I have to wait for a room here.
Right now you have to wait for quite some time. We never know because somebody might find a flat or a room in another place by chance, and then within 3 or 4 weeks there is a room free.
Okay.
But it can also take 6 months, 8 months, up to a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because this is simply not in our hands. We never know when somebody will move out.
But you have an office for orientation for orientation office. I come here for speak with you or with a social worker for the list
For the refugees coming here.
Well, you have to fill in an application, and then you're on this waiting list, and the application will go to the people on the floor where there is a free room, and they will decide who's their next neighbor.
Okay. This application for internet or
No.
face to face?
No, it's on paper, but I have to send it to you. You have to ask for it, and I send it.
Are you going to ask to?
In which languages?
Actually, the language in the house is German.
Okay.
Because this is what most people speak, and of course a lot of English, yes. But we have also many people from Somalia and other countries who don't speak English at all, so they have to speak German with one another. The basic idea, well, the idea is not made for refugees or anything like that. It's just the idea of sharing everything within the community. That's what the share house is for.
Do you have any
So
questions?
this is an interpretation. Well, there are similar projects. I know one in Munich, and there also we had guests from Portugal, where a project like this, they came here to have a look at what we are doing and to kind of copy it in Lisbon.
Also regarding the house dinner, food and music is a really nice way to connect cultures. So people who decide, it's usually residents who decide, okay, we are the three of us are going to cook. Usually it's different people every single time, and they choose the recipes. So then you can imagine they cook what they know, they cook what they like, and then people connect over the food. And even though maybe there are people who don't speak the language yet, they feel welcome, they feel home, and that is like a way to connect. Also with music, because the people might choose what kind of music is going to be played during the house dinner, and then as she said, there is interest in each other, so these connections naturally spark, and then I think you said this before, we don't have social workers, so people help each other because they didn't move in at the same time, so they have different experiences at different times. So somebody knows how to do like something with the German authorities, for example, and then they can even share how to do things, what are their experiences, what works, what doesn't work. So they form friendships, alliances, and it doesn't need the guidance. I agree. Also between German people and refugees and other internationals, and the borders between the status of being a refugee, being an international, or being a German, it's diffuse. It's really more a community feeling and a feeling of friendship. And there's always, if somebody new moves in, there's always the potential to get a new friend. Not just a neighbor, but a new friend as well. And by experience, it has also shown that people who move out still keep contact with the house, and also they might even continue to volunteer in the house. For example, in the café, because you form friendships, relationships, and you always know if you go to Refugio, there will be someone that you know that you like. Yeah.
Hola,